Oh boy. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. I think my volume is a little loud. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hello, welcome in everybody. Hey, hey, hey. My name is Manu and I have a special guest. We've got my brother from another mother. We got Cooltoy. What's up, bud?
Howdy, howdy. Doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. I'm recovered from, well, TPF happened a couple of weeks ago, we understand, but better late than never.
Yeah. Plus, it takes a little while to recharge and make sure you didn't get like convention/con crud, and a lot of people go to big gatherings and they find out like, no, I didn't. I knock on wood, I don't ever get that, but I see it's a common occurrence for a lot of people that go to big conventions, big expos. 2 days later they're going to work and they're like, I feel like crap, and they're like, I got the flu, I got the whatever, and knock on wood, hadn't hit me yet.
Yeah, I think I pretty much got out safe too. I hope. Boop. That's the fun scene. So Doug is here. Doug, just so that people know about you and what you do and what your channel is and stuff, we'll start that off and you can give us a little introduction.
Okay. My name is Doug Smith. I run a channel on YouTube called Cooltoy that talks about things that I deem cool toys. That could be anything from action figures to video games, arcade machines, pinball games, pinball machines, you name it, everything few and far between. I'm kind of a catch-all variety of just pop culture nonsense. I like all things nerdy, and I talk about all things nerdy.
Nice. As you guys see, I have it up on the screen right now. You can go to youtube.com/Cooltoy to get to Doug's content. My first experience with Doug is actually on YouTube, just like you guys. I watched him, I think, retrofit or reskin Simpsons virtual pin. Is that correct?
It probably sounds about right. Yeah, it was like an at-games machine that I was like, this thing's kind of hideous. I want to kind of spruce it up, and I'm a huge Simpsons nerd, so I was like, I'm just going to make a Simpsons pinball party-esque machine out of it. So I made my own back box, put in some screens, modified it, made it, a little more modern for the virtual pin world, and spruced it up that way. That
was a super cool. Here, I'm going to increase my brightness. I'm going to try and match Doug a little bit because you're the professional here. I
don't know. Mine's super bright. Looks like I got a solar flare coming in, but it is what it is.
You're well lit. Yeah. So Doug and I finally got to meet in person at TPF, which was really super cool. You managed to convince the family to go to Frisco.
Absolutely.
It's a big deal. Frisco.
I mean, it was for me. Like it also had like a double, meaning behind it, because we have both, my wife and I have family in Texas, so it was kind of like, hey, because wife wasn't really keen on me just like taking them, a week's vacation, going to Texas by myself and leaving her with a kid, which I don't blame her. But
yeah.
So I was like, hey, let me go do this, and it's, I'm like, it's in a very, populated metropolitan area. You can go shopping, do whatever you want. Just leave me at the convention, and then we can go visit family afterwards. So that was how I sold that to her, and it worked out well.
It worked. In the end, it worked out well too. It did. We're never coming back here again.
No, it worked out. It was fine. Our 2-year-old traveled well enough that we didn't want to kill each other or him, so it was good.
In fact, we're not going to turn the sound up because it'd be great if you guys went over to Doug's channel and checked out this Texas Pinball Festival wrap up if you haven't seen it. So we're just going to skip around, but to see the whole thing, definitely go over, give Doug a sub, and check it out because I think it's a really good. Thank you, GameClubCentral, for posting that link to Doug's channel.
Appreciate it.
That's cool.
Link in the chat, go do it.
Link in the chat, go do it. Thank you, Pinbot. So let's start at let's start at the beginning. Now, like I said, Doug and I got to meet. We hung out for a little while, but I knew he was kind of working. So, Doug, I'm gonna let you drive the bus a little bit and tell us how you felt about Texas Pinball Festival. Yeah.
All right. So first and foremost, this is the first Texas Pinball Festival that I got to attend. Been on my radar for years, just hasn't worked out schedule-wise for me. Went to Chicago Pinball Expo earlier, in October last year. So got to, again, experience that for the first time. So I had a nice little comparison between the two as far as the two big expos for pinball. At least that's the way I interpret it. You know, they're like 1 and 2 as far as size, scale, and popularity. But Texas, it was nice. The weather not so nice. It was
it
just
did
like
rain.
60 and rainy.
Yeah,
which not the worst weather in the world, but when you're leaving that kind of weather and you're hoping to go like south to Texas, you know, I packed like shorts and all that kind of stuff, and I didn't wear any of it, so that was kind of annoying. But other than that, I had a great time overall. There's little nuanced things that I enjoyed TPF that I didn't necessarily enjoy at Chicago, and vice versa. They both have, you know, pros and cons. But overall, I really had an enjoyable time. I got to play a lot of cool games, some cool games that I'd never played before, got a chance to experience anywhere else. And I definitely feel like, you know, I got my money's worth just for attending.
Nice. So Doug managed to get a lot of cool footage, like I said, for his channel. As far as TPF versus Expo, so there are two of the things that exist in the pinball world, right? There are a lot of really fun expos. There's, I think, the Houston Expo, also they said, is amazing. Expo in Chicago seems to me more business-like. It's business times. You got to put on your business socks, right? Whereas TPF seems more like a party.
Sense,
I guess maybe there's more industry people in Chicago. Love Houston Expo. Yeah, so Pirate Bones Ninja is even more than the party people. That's what I hear, Pirate, that Houston Expo. I got to make it out to Houston Expo.
Yeah, here they go all night, every night. They don't necessarily close the floor. It just kind of keeps going until the next day and just keeps on keeping on as far as the Houston Expo. That's what I've always heard.
Yeah, that's the only drag about TPF is they close pretty early. I think. I don't know. What's up, Lady Shar? So, anyway, hey Marty, stick around in the chat. So there's a lot of people who were at the show who are in the chat right now. I see Marty. I see Pirate Bones Ninja. Feel free to chime in on the chat as we go through some opinions about stuff. And I know me and Doug have a few differing opinions about certain stuff. This is great.
Stuff and things.
Lie to me, Doug, and tell me you love Texas Chainsaw more than Looney Tunes. Manu got me from the ACME Corporation.
I can't do it.
We have completed the hype train. Thank you for the support. Now get off of me.
Oh, thank you for that hype train. What? We'll just start there, man. Spooky Pinball.
Okay. So yeah, the Spooky had their two new games, I guess you can call it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Looney Tunes, basically the same playfield, but completely different rule sets, gameplay, and art packages, of course, as well as themes. It's the latest and greatest from them. Previous was Scooby-Doo, which I found to be an okay game. Machine's nice and pretty, but gameplay was kind of lackluster to me on Scooby-Doo, and the upper playfield, while it had some cool mechs and everything, I thought it encompassed way too much of the overall visual aesthetic of the game, and I felt like I was just shooting the ball under the playfield all the time, and then it would magically come out somewhere, and that was kind of like my overall impression of Scooby-Doo.
Magically come out somewhere.
Well, there's U-turns, and sometimes I went up. I was just I felt like I was just shooting under a blindfold, and then, like I said, it just magically appears somewhere. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay, wait.
But
let me. Can I offer this and then maybe not change your opinion?
Yeah.
Okay. I think what they were going for with Scooby was, You know the scene in Scooby-Doo, right? It's Act 3 in whatever show they have where the criminals are running around and the crew is and they're going through the hallway and they're coming over.
Everyone's going crisscrossing in different directions, going in a door, out a door. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right? Shoot up underneath magically.
If I made a bad design, I would love to disguise it with rationale like that, as if it was some like super deep, meaningful, like onion blossom of a, metaphor.
All right.
I don't think that's the case, but I love your rationale and I love your reasoning. And if I was spooky, I would 100% like explain it that way from now on, just to like, save face. Like I said, it's a pretty looking game, but to me, like the Stern Foo Fighters feels more like Scooby-Doo than Scooby-Doo does, as far as like, let's go, stop some mischief and let's all get the gang together in the van type of thing. Like that feels more like a Scooby-Doo episode than the actual Scooby-Doo machine.
Pirate Pawns Ninja says, I have a Scooby. You learn where the ball goes after a few plays. I agree. I just made that up because I just thought of it. We actually have a
just
Scooby-Doo.
That clever,
yeah. I thought that was terrific. We actually have a Scooby-Doo next to a Foo Fighters if we go watch.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let's talk about.
Tell me that's not subconsciously on purpose, one way or the other. You're like, it was meant to be. Somebody was like, you know what? They're pretty much the same theme.
I don't know. I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
As far as horror themes, Marty's right. Doug and I both don't. I don't like horror themes.
I'm not a horror guy. Sorry. Like as far as horror movies that I enjoy, like Scream, I kind of like that franchise. It's a little more grounded in reality. To me, it's more like suspense than like just slasher horror, even though it like kind of makes fun of the whole horror genre. So I kind of enjoyed the Scream movies, but other than that, it's like it's all torture porn to me. I'm just like, not really.
So did you? So okay. So then this is perfect. This is perfect then. Same play field, two different layouts. Well, same play field, two different skins. What'd you think of Looney Tunes?
So that's the thing. Like because of Looney Tunes, I got to like really appreciate it more because I wasn't like, scoffing, horror, gross, let's get away from it type of thing. But as the playfield design, the layout and everything, I really enjoyed it. I thought it had a bunch of cool, unique shots. It's got multiple unique kind of mechanisms and how they incorporate into gameplay, as well as just overall design layout. It's got all sorts of like diverting mechs and dropping mechs and cool incorporations of like a magnet that I hadn't really seen before. I thought the machine was really pretty. Like I said, Spooky makes pretty aesthetically pleasing machines. Little detail I noticed on Texas Chainsaw Massacre when I was there in person that I didn't really pick up on when it was doing its big reveal on the internet was like the side armor on Texas Chainsaw Massacre has like saw blade teeth kind of along the side, like you would have a chainsaw, with the name and everything like that. I thought that was a nice touch. Just little details like that really nail theme aesthetics for me. But overall, I think this was like the best playing experience I had, whether it be Chainsaw Massacre or Looney Tunes. Just plain old shooting the game. Like if I didn't hear or see anything, if I just had like a whitewood in front of me, this would be the most enjoyable spooky game I've ever played.
I agree. I think I'm focusing on this because this is somebody pointed this out to me. I think maybe it was Marty. I'm not sure. To look at the speaker grills on Looney Tunes. This is freaking awesome. My only
it is, and like the Texas Chainsaw one had the Texas State, that was their speaker grill, so it fits the theme. But they're pretty.
Wolfman, you asked me if I ever think about making an IRL pin. Yeah, I think about it a lot, Wolfman, but I don't think I'd ever do it because it's a lot of work.
A lot of work and a lot of money too.
Yeah. Although the closest I would get to doing that is on my P3. I would just break out Unity and develop a game for a module that I already have, which is part of the reason why I bought a P3. We played that numerous times and I didn't notice the teeth. Oh yeah. Looney Tunes.
It's subtle for sure. Like I said, it.
Yeah, it's very subtle.
It's great.
Looney Tunes, one of the best layouts I think Spooky has done. Period. Hands down.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Freaking brilliant ideas of shots. Those 2 back ramps, a little tough to hit, but once you find them, you can get them.
And you can get them like looping and comboing pretty steadily too. Because I was the same way. I was bricking it, and then I was like, all right, I kind of adjusted my shot, and then I was starting to hit it, and then I was
you start getting it,
around and finding nice little patterns. Yeah, it was really good. So
that Looney Tunes reminded me in a way of the playfield on Labyrinth, because Labyrinth is also kind of like that. Maybe less so than Looney Tunes. But there's this moment of discovery that you go, oh, that shot could go there too. So you start doing that kind of thing. I think that's a huge plus for me. I was tipsy when I played TCM, so I don't remember much. Yeah, okay, Ryan. I enjoyed flipping. There's two gripes I have.
I need to update my antivirus. Incoming raid to the Mystery Pinball Theater.
Hey, K-Flip!
Hey, Doug, watch me pull this Manu out of my hat. Crud wrong show. I knew I should have took that left turn at Albuquerque. Buenos días a todos. Bienvenido a la transmisión. Esperamos que disfrutes tu estancia aquí.
Pinbot speaks Spanish. K-Flip, didn't I see you at TP? I think I saw K-Flip at TPF. I think I saw K-Flip at TPF. But I'm sorry if I didn't say hi. I thought I saw you. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm wrong. Yes, you were there, and I'm an idiot. Sorry.
There you
I
go.
Say hi. Blame it on Doug. We got Doug and Cooltoy here. Blame it on Doug. I'm pointing up because
please blame it on me. I will openly accept all blames and accusatory whatever you got to throw my way. That's fine.
Accusatoriisms. K-Flip, thank you for that word. Welcome in. We're doing a wrap-up of TPF, and I was just about to say the 2 things that bugged me about Spooky's latest game. Now, I did not even go near Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But also, I didn't go near Saw, which was an amazing homebrew, and I didn't go near Friday the 13th, was an amazing homebrew. I just am not attracted to
horror. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did play Looney Tunes. Ball 2, my right flipper died.
Oh, that's not a good sign. Like when you say die, like just completely stop working, or like lost its like angle, or
my right flipper decided, you don't need me anymore. I'm gonna go to sleep.
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks.
Is that what it did? Gave you the whole Porky Pig.
Yeah, and so this is my first experience with this game. I'm in a 4-player game. I think it was Marty. It was GameClubCentral. My buddy Shannon from Frigo Watch. Was it Pirate Pones Ninja? I'm not sure, but it was 4 of us. It was 4 of us. I was player 2. I was blowing it up. Ball 2, I go up, I start flipping, and the right flipper just does not fire. And I'm like, not a good sign, game. So my buddy Shannon, she raises her hand, she goes over to one of the techs to come over. Her ball 3 gets served up, or Marty's ball 3 gets served up, and the flipper worked again.
Are you sure it wasn't user error?
No. 0. No.
So wait. So you're saying nobody opened the machine in between player 2 and player 3, though? Like,
Nope. They were there. Playing pinball is like trying to salsa dance with an octopus. Sometimes the puss wins. Marty, listen, I'm not an idiot. I know how to press one button. Well, there's 2 buttons over there, but the button I was going for wasn't working. So then it worked for the next player and for the rest of the game. Doug, that soured my experience immediately. And the tech came over.
Well, yeah, it's not a great first impression by any means. Like, hey, this is cool. The latest and greatest, and it's broke.
The machine was racist. No, the tech came over. The tech came over and went, "Oh, that's wild. That's crazy." Now I spoke to somebody. I'll get off this bandwagon in a second. I love Spooky. I love that you're doing stuff, but that just doesn't sit well. I spoke to somebody at Frigo Watch, and they said, "Oh, I know exactly what the problem is. It's a certain board that they decided to build. This is not truth or whatever. This is their in person
Speculation.
This is speculation. There's a certain board that Spooky builds in house, and it has a tendency to do this and blah blah. Anyway, the other thing, Doug, everything else I loved about it, but But yeah, you were saying Jersey Jack folks animate. If they could just...
That's the thought you were going with?
That's the thought I was going with. You're working with Chuck Jones, you're working with Warner Brothers, you're working with a property like Looney Tunes, some of the greatest stuff in the world. They did use it, but the way they use the assets just seems like you're sitting and waiting for the next thing to happen. You're waiting to see a clip, right? Their whole motif of sitting, and he's noticed that Bugs and Daffy are sitting in the theater watching a clip now. And I don't agree with that approach with this, because most of the game you're waiting. What's up, Amiga Cammy? How are you?
To get to that clip.
To get to this clip. You're waiting to get to the fun stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't agree with that approach.
And I'll agree to that. That was like my biggest takeaway from after playing Texas Chainsaw and then going to Looney Tunes was I thought the animations and integration of the clips and assets they do have for Texas Chainsaw Massacre weren't implemented well. The animation just kind of felt very lacking. Like you said, Looney Tunes is this, predominant art house institution for animation. So you would think it would be a just dead shot ringer, easy layup to, instill these quality clips and assets and present them in a way that is befitting the player and gets them excited and everything. But I didn't really feel that way. It just felt like it was kind of phoned in, if I'm being overtly critical. It's just kind of like, hey, here's a couple of shots and here's your clip. And here's a couple shots and here's your clip. Like, it needs to be more cohesive. It needs to feel more rewarding. It needs to feel like you've achieved something, as opposed to you've just hit a roadblock and now you get to watch a 10-second clip.
So you guys can still hear me, right?
I can still hear you.
You can say, okay, so I got to put new batteries in my lab, so I'm going to let...
One moment, Manu is experiencing technical difficulties. I think he used that new board from Spooky.
I did.
Well played, well played.
All right, we're going to move on, but that's about it. I wish them the best of luck in... can you talk a little bit about Motorhead, Doug? Did you get to play that for a second?
Yeah, I played it. It was very cool. As Beyonce and Motorhead, cracks me up. But Motorhead was a homebrew game that was Spooky adjacent. It's not necessarily a game that Spooky's making. It was like a friend of the company. One of the Spooky coders, from my understanding, helped code that game. But a very cool classic lower design aesthetic from like the 70s kind of pinball era, but full LCD but like concert clips and assets from Motorhead performances, great call outs, very loud game. Presentation was phenomenal. They had some faux Marshall amps speakers beside it, side by side. Had some kind of cool toys and mechanisms where there was like a punching fist and
cool toys,
animated topper. I mean, see what I did there? It's fun to be punny, but it was a really cool game. Like, if you're a fan of Motorhead, you would absolutely be drooling and chomping at the bit to play that game. Maybe it's one of those things like TNA that maybe Spooky makes a deal and makes a small limited run of those machines or something later on down the future.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to play it because it was so damn loud.
I mean, you could hear it from across the room, which says a lot for as loud as that showroom is. But it was a really cool game, and it was off by itself, so it wasn't around the normal homebrew crowds. So it was kind of easy to miss if you didn't know to look for it.
Bro, this has got like scissor flippers. Oh no! Oh, that's so cool.
Does. Yeah.
Ooh, that's messed
scissor
up.
Flippers and. like I said, it's got some really cool integrations as far as like classic design aesthetics, and then it has some modern things tweaked in there. Like I said, the scoring, LCD, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, and I always like it when they kind of mesh old meets new type of things.
It does have a Centaur vibe. All right, let's jump to. If you don't mind, I'm going to skip the homebrews.
Okay.
If you guys want to hear what Doug has to say about homebrews, once again, go to his channel and watch his video. Let's quickly talk about this, which we don't really need to talk about, but it's a thing that Stern had one or two. Shark!
Yeah. I swear I heard that like in my sleep or trying to go to sleep after each night after leaving the convention, because you couldn't get near that corner of the building without hearing shark. But yeah, they had like 20 of them. Yeah. So
yeah, they had a bunch. Look at this. Okay, well, I mean, it's Jaws. We don't really need to go that much further into it.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the greatest pinball game ever, you rate it and I'll rate it at the same time. We'll do 1, 2, 3, and then we'll call out our numbers. You ready?
Okay.
I don't know if there's a sync there, but we'll go 1, 2, 3. 7.5. Oh, you said 7. Oh, shoot!
Yeah. Well, it's got I mean, the code's got time to cook. Like, in its current state is what I'm rating it. But also, like, one of my biggest concerns about this game, because this was my first time I get to play it in person, was at TPF. But one of my biggest concerns was, as I'm talking about on the video right there, was the shark fin target. And I was like, man, I wonder if that's going to have, like, issues with breakage or damage because it doesn't have a traditional up-down path that has, like, reinforcements. It's kind of going on that crescent moon. And wouldn't you know it, I found 2 examples of broken and or damaged shark fins at the show on those 20 machines, and I was like, that's not really a good sign if we're doing ratios.
Yeah, I guess 2 out of 20. We'll just say there were 20.
Yeah,
those are the only issues I've ever seen where the shark fin breaks off. But I can imagine. Just like Mick on a Stick, right? Remember the Rolling Stones game? Everybody called it Mick on a Stick. This is Mick Jagger doing this.
Yep.
Eventually, Mick's gonna fall off that stick. So y'all might be looking at some.
And it's such a integral part of like the theme, though. Like the whole
it is
thing. Like, so, like if you lose that, then it's like, well, and it's also like, how you activate certain things within the progress of the game. So like, if you can't hit that, the target's broken or stuck down or whatever, then you're kind of very limited as far as progressing through the game. But shots and layouts, like, I enjoyed it. Obviously, Keith Elwin, like I said, knows how to make a great game. But in its current status right now, like, it needs to have some sort of code updates that make it so much more. Like, Godzilla was like that. Like, Godzilla was a great shooting game right out of the box, and it wasn't until the code, like, did a little more down the road that it turned into just an absolutely amazing game. And I think Jaws has potential to be great down the line, but right now it's just a really good game.
Yeah, Wolfman, you gave it a 5. Wolfman, you got to give me a reason why it's a 5. Yeah. I don't think it's a 5.
I mean, now, if you don't care about the theme, it's still a fun shooter. Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. Like, look, you rate it whatever you rate it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just questioning a 5. It's pretty mean. We'll
talk about a game that's a solid 5 later.
You're giving it a 5? The game we're going to talk about, it's that high with you? I'm just playing. I'm joking, y'all. Yeah. This is jokes.
Because the shark does nothing. So, yeah. Wolfman says because the shark does nothing. I mean, he's there for emotional support. He's there for you. Like, he comes up, checks on you when you...
My Jaws experience right now is I'm digging the game, but I'm digging it about as much as I dug.
I like the third like flipper and the flipper lock, like the the little
flip lock is cool.
Ingenuity. Yeah, I think that's anytime somebody can bring something new to pinball that everyone at this point thinks we've seen and done everything there is to do. Anytime somebody can bring something new to the table, that's always a great sign of things to come, and just a great positive attribute in my book.
Is it a fan layout?
I mean,
see,
they almost all are.
See, yeah, they almost all are. See, Taylor, you're like, is the fan layout overdone? Is it? Well, here's the thing, though. This is it, and we'll move on. It's oh God, how do I say this, Doug? It's a fan layout plus. There's a lot of pathways on this game.
Oh yeah, I mean
it's insane.
Got a bunch of different, like the return I thought was really interesting was the upper playfield. Like if you actually catch that one spot really cool, and it kind of fishes down and goes upside down and comes back down where you would hit like the orbit almost. Like it was an interesting ball path return that I wasn't expecting, and it felt really cool once I actually did hit it. Like the big wave ramp where you're shooting up and then it comes around the corner and goes up to the upper playfield. I think that was a really cool design choice. It's hard as hell to get the ball up there.
You got to hit a clean shot.
That to machine. Yeah.
One of the coolest.
Even with the clean shot, I was
really.
I was struggling to get it up there, but I attributed that to flipper fade because these machines, were getting played nonstop.
The shot up to the upper playfield, the shot to the upper playfield, and then the tiny flipper to the upper ramp, and then back and up the playfield.
Yeah.
That's insane, that's cool. You guys.
That's cool.
My T-Rex used to do something, now it doesn't anymore, and no one can fix it. Sometimes it's best if they do nothing to begin with Stern's quality control.
I mean, that's also why a lot of people go for pros instead of premiums, because there's less things to break on them.
Yeah. Anyway, there we go. Rudy from 1990 eats the ball and makes faces. Jaws needs to spit blood. Wolfman, go look at my YouTube channel. I show the mod that Stern included in the game of the shark eating the ball. Go to my YouTube channel, look up the last video. It is Jaws. Doug, they actually put a ball.
I watched your stream afterwards. your VOD. It was good. Yeah. It's such a I don't know, tongue-in-cheek way of telling everybody to politely shut up. That's the way I interpret it.
It was
like, oh, you want the ball? The shark to eat the ball? Here you go.
Oh, it was so good. All right, let's move on. Definitely a shooter's table, but not as funny as many. Donut, I think you summed it up perfectly. It's a shooter's table.
Mm-hmm. Great shots.
Not as fun as Godzilla. Probably not as fun as Jurassic Park. Probably not as fun as Iron Maiden, but fun. Way more fun than
put it above Avengers. Yeah.
We got the same brain, Doug. Mm-hmm. All right, enough about Elwin and all. Enough about it. I want the shark to be hologram like in Back to the Future 2. Yes, that would be so awesome. Yes.
They have the technology. Why, Stern, why?
Let's see, quick note about Foo Fighters. They had one screen. Unfortunately, if you didn't know, Jack Danger couldn't make it because his mom passed away, which really sucks. So he wasn't able to be there, which is a huge bummer, right? I'm completely understating that.
It is. I mean, he's the pinball world mascot. I mean, I don't mean to make that sound negative, because that's actually a positive reflection as far as my opinion. He's the face of internet celebrity / pinball or whatever. Plus he's what I would say one of us. He's a pinball nerd.
Yeah, he is.
Pinball professional.
Very much so. So, Jack, our hearts go out to you. I already reached out to Jack and said if there's anything I can do from way over here, let me know. He just sent back 3 hearts, and I was like, that was cool. So when Jack wasn't looking, they raised the price. The topper is $2,000. It really should be about, how much do you think this topper is really worth in parts?
Well, I mean, like what it's worth in parts and what it costs, and we're looking at $200 worth of cost or whatever, probably. And that's
I'll give it 5. I'll give it
generous.
5. I'm being generous with 5.
I'm trying to wrap in, like development and research costs and 401k premiums, that type of stuff. But it's all their stern toppers. It's LED strips and acrylic. Like for the most part, is your predominant materials. So it's not expensive as far as parts, but this one, like, it looks cool and everything. But you see that $2,000 price tag, and you're like, how do I justify that against other things in the market? And he's like, okay, well, what came out recently that was $2,000? There's a Mandalorian topper that had like a hologram LCD display. There's the Labyrinth topper that has animatronic.
The Labyrinth topper, come on.
Animatronic cats.
The Labyrinth topper is
and it's
freaking
half the price
awesome.
of that. And then there's like the black Sword of Rage.
So I was gonna say, Black Knight Sword of Rage has more articulation in the head. Black Knight Sword of Rage goes up, down, left, right.
$1,300 or $1,400. So like, comparatively, this doesn't do enough to justify that price tag for current market versus even older market conditions. What they were asking for some of their older toppers.
But anyway,
this has the same articulation as Turtles, which was $1,000. It just goes right, left, right, left, right.
If you got the cash, then we're not convincing you not to get a topper. The topper's pretty sweet.
No, I mean, if you've got the cash and you really like your Foo Fighters machine, absolutely. Like if money was not a question or a concern for me. For me though, I struggle with toppers at that price point because I'm like, I can get a beat up Bally Williams game for close to
for the price of the topper.
Yeah, like wouldn't I want another machine versus some acrylic plastic and RGB light strip?
I'm a lucky guy, Doug, in that my garage doesn't have space for a topper. So
problem solved.
The Labyrinth topper blows others out of the water in both function and price. Correct.
I mean, it's not even like being biased or anything. It's legitimate. Like if you just compare it financially versus physically, what it can do both ways, night and day difference.
Guy from Weta did the Labyrinth topper. I don't know who Weta is. Do you know?
That would make sense. So Weta's the workshop in, I think it's New Zealand, that did all the Lord of the Rings costuming, and they've done a lot of the it's a major movie special effects art house type of thing. But if they had their hand in it, then that explains why it's done well and probably done cost effectively.
Damn. Did you get to play Ninja Eclipse, Doug? Because I didn't.
I did, and I played it at Chicago, and I also played it at TPF, and it had went a design change. So at Chicago, I had a much different looking cabinet, and this one they redesigned the cabinet to look like traditional modern Stern. He tweaked a little things here and there. It's a decent playing game, and for being a I don't want to call it a homebrew because he's trying to manufacture these, but it's.
Can you tell? Like can you just say? Explain to me, like I'm 6 years old. What even is this? Because this is the first time I've ever seen Ninja Eclipse. People are like, try Ninja Eclipse, try Ninja Eclipse. I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Tell me, who are these guys?
Yeah. So Turner Pinball, from my understanding, he came from a kind of a light. Was it a not? He wasn't a Deep Root employee. He was like a contractor. So like he was contracted to work with Deep Root, and of course, if anybody knows anything about Deep Root and how that all imploded into the world of pinball and scams and all that thing, Anytime you hear the word deep root now, people immediately start torches and pitchforks. So he was kind of like guilty by association. But this guy has taken a lot of flack on the internet for that guilt and association. He's taken it all on the chin. He's been laughed, in his face, and people's treated him poorly. And like I said, he's taken it all in stride, and he showed up to both these expos, and he's put his best foot forward, and he's let his game do the talking for him, and he's taken constructive criticism and consumer feedback, and he's actually, took some of those suggestions and changed the game. He lowered the price, and it looks like he, really wants to make a solid, effort and make a go out of this. So
okay.
Like I said, it's like a homebrew, but not really, because I think he's limiting this game to 100 units for the first batch or whatever, and
okay.
It's custom non-licensed IP type of thing. He's done everything in-house, and he's got the finances and the know-how to apparently manufacture some games. So I guess time will tell if the market allows it. Yeah.
$69.94 for your Ninja Eclipse game. I unfortunately didn't get a chance to shoot it, but real quick, how does it shoot?
It's better than some other offerings that were there, but it was a solid game. It obviously feels a little amateur as far as like the animations and stuff, because it's kind of like still image animation type of stuff. That's kind of, how they do like motion comics, that kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, for being what is essentially a homebrew that is going to be mass produced, it's a solid effort.
All right, cool. All right, let's not bury the lead anymore. What's up, Paul? How are you, buddy? Let's not bury the lead anymore. Let's talk about what we want to talk about, baby. Let's go. Oh, I'm ready.
Barbecue.
Let's get some barbecue,
man.
baby. Now wait a minute. Okay. All right, Doug. Okay, you shush for a second, okay? Let me just say, what's up, Agent Flashes? What's up? Let me just say, Marty says, I did an interview with David Fix and Steve Bowden from American. Got some incredible Barry stories and the info behind the development cycle. That will be live tomorrow. Okay. Oh, well, everybody, make sure you're following Game Club Central, because you're going to get the scoop on why we have a Barrio's barbecue challenge.
I'll watch that, because I want to know. Like, I was so dumbfounded by this game. Like, I need to know why.
Well, okay, so Barry O, right? Just in case you're in the chat, you don't know who Barry O, or if you're watching on YouTube, you don't know who Barry O. Barry Orsler, I think it's Orsler, he passed away. He was an amazing pinball designer. He did some great games. Most people would go, oh, he did Dracula, and then they stop right there. Well, you don't realize he also did, I think he did...
Cyclone, Comet, Hurricane.
Yes, go.
Your roller coasters, Popeye.
Yep.
There's a reason people don't typically name that one. What else?
Yeah.
I can't remember. But I mean, he's been around forever. He's a legend as far as
Who done
design.
Who done it?
There you go. Don't say that one very often, so that's probably why he didn't get.
So Barry made some incredible pins. Marty at Game Club Central has the scoop on why David Fix is the owner of American Pinball, has the scoop on why this was made. But I will tell you this, and so Doug and I, we're going to leave it at that. Doug and I both shot it. Look at this kid's face. We both shot it, and it's a pinball machine.
Yes, it is. Someone made a pinball machine. The flippers flip, balls fly, targets are hit, noises are made, and lights illuminate. That's it. Nothing else. So,
do you need anything else, though?
Yeah.
What else do you need, Doug?
Texas
you just named everything.
Barbecue.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
look at
the bear. The bear. I'm just trying to. I'm normally not a very pessimistic, negative person. So like,
no, you're not.
I hate to,
I know.
Like, I don't like to speak ill of things, but like, there's just so much dumbfounded, head scratching why that I was
on,
left
Doug, tell
after
us how
I
you
played
feel.
this table. I'm trying, but I'm also trying not to sound like a
You're
snobby pin
confused.
jerk or anything.
No, you're
I
confused
am.
just
I'm
like
just like I said.
everyone.
I'm bewildered and like I need to know more. Like we were kind of briefly commenting about this before the stream, but it's like this feels like somebody I think lost a bet and was like, well, I lost fantasy football season this year. I was dead last. I guess I gotta go make that barbecue pin for you guys, or like for
Now,
such a legendary career that Barry has, I feel like this does more to tarnish his legacy than it does to keep it alive.
It's okay.
And like
I see
that's
the
not
job.
how you want to
Doug
go
doesn't
out.
like Barbie Quay. You heard it here.
Doug doesn't like Barbie Quay.
Yeah.
What's
So
up, Ferret
close,
Fawcett?
Pinbot, so close. Yeah.
Okay. Now, okay, okay. Can I say okay one more time?
Look at that tic-tac-toe. Look at that tic-tac-toe. That playfield layout is just it's something.
Barry did love food. Listen to the interview on Pinball Profile, recorded 4 days before he died. Wow, that's insane. Really? 4 days before he died.
Are you
Okay.
Joe Pesky? Okay.
Pesky. She can't pronounce shit, can she? I shot this, Doug, and I'll give you my 100% honest opinion. It shoots okay. It shoots okay. It feels like a shooter from like a Williams era, like a it feels like a dark age Stern. Like, remember the dark times of Stern where it was like
yeah, we were talking about that with when they were getting ready to go under, and we were talking about Gomez saved the company type of thing.
Yep.
Dark.
It feels like a
Dark
Stern
times
from
of
Dark
Stern,
Times.
or Bally before the DMD. Those late stage Bally games.
Hi, Goran.
But it just
Steve
there's
Bowden
nothing special
worked.
about it.
There's nothing, but I bet you. let's not do this for so long. I bet you the rules will get better. I don't know who's going to buy this. The issue is who's going to buy this to see the awesomeness that's coming.
Yeah, like if this turns into a gym, who's the consumer that took the $7,000 chance? Like, is it the person that owns the pin bar restaurant? Probably not. Is it the barbecue connoisseur that has his own barbecue restaurant that wants a barbecue themed pinball machine? No, because you're immediately going to like, oh, okay, hey, barbecue connoisseur, are you familiar with Barry-O? Oh, you mean Pitmaster Barry-O? No, that doesn't exist. It's not a thing. And as we were kind of briefly hinting, most pinball people probably don't even know who Barry-O is, so it doesn't have like name brand recognition as far as the title on the back glass.
People with money. So
yeah, I mean,
so
people
here's
with
the
money,
thing.
yeah, but like how much? $7,000 is a lot to take a chance. Like
How much?
That's the high roller casino room when you're just taking a chance on $7,000, bets.
This will be forever known as the BO table. So, once again, I think Doug can agree. We're not telling you not to buy this game. We're just wondering who the game is for. Marty mentioned something that they want to make this a tournament table, but that means someone has to buy it to put it in the tournament. I don't see Carl D'Angelo running to Ace Goji and saying, you guys have to get a Barry-O so I could put it in the Indisc. Like, I don't see that happening at any point.
No. And at the show, like, there wasn't lines galore, for this machine. There was, so the general curiosity, hey, cool, new machine. But it wasn't hard to play. As I mentioned, like, when I left at 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, like, all the machines weren't sold. Typically for demo units of brand new games, these things are sold, within hours of them being displayed.
Marty said they only sold 2 out of 5.
that's all I saw when I left was 2 sold, and I was like, that's typically not a good sign, because like of all the people that are going to potentially buy this game, you would think there'd be some good, fish in the water, so to speak, swimming around looking at your machine that you might be able to sell this to. You got distributors, you got pinheads, you got rich people, all that in one room, and you can only sell 2 out of 5 machines. If we're thinking, ratios, that doesn't necessarily look great.
Maybe Barry thought Weber Grills would sponsor them. All right, I want to jump.
I was even thinking, like, if I rethemed this as a King of the Hill table and kept, some sort of barbecue-esque life into it, would I still hate this? And I think I might. Like, it just
no disrespect to King of the Hill, because remember, homegrown is
no. I love King of the Hill. Like, I would kill to have a King of the Hill table, but like, if you reskin this King of the Hill, I still wouldn't enjoy it.
You still wouldn't like it.
No. Tell me, like, what is the toy on this game? Is it the LCD screen? Because I can't think of any. There was, there's 3 pop bumpers, a drop target, and 2 ramps.
All right.
That's all I remember.
Doug, I need to convince you to buy a P3.
You did a good job of showing me some stuff that I had no idea. Like, we were playing, what was that, the dungeon crawling,
Dungeon Door Defender
aspect of it.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that was cool. That was, I had no idea that it was even, incorporated. And you said that was just kind of an extra coded aspect. So like, hey, here's a bonus. And
what's interesting is that,
but I enjoyed Princess Bride. This is the first time I got to play like the entire P3 catalog. Like I've played,
nice,
like 1 prior to this. So being able to play everything they had out there was good. I mean, like I said, it's good sales tactic, because I'm like, all right, now I can see the whole gamut. And I mentioned in my video, like, the only thing that's technically keeping me from jumping into the P3 pond right now is, like, I don't feel like there's more than one must-have theme for me, or must-have module. Like,
yeah,
I feel like I need more than one that makes me invest.
Mm-hmm. Please be very clear. I am not trying to sell a P3 to anyone. Okay. In fact, I tell the story all the time. I have two people asked me about them. One of them I said, do not buy it. And the other one I said, definitely buy it. And here's what's interesting.
It depends on people's taste and preferences, and what they look for and need in a game, I guess.
It was more.
Tell me why would you tell people not to, and then we'll just do it that way.
This particular person, I thought would not have the patience to learn this platform in order to fix things. So the person I said, the person I said do not buy one is because I assumed they just wouldn't have the patience to learn to fix things. They own Stearns and mostly
George?
Stearns. I'm not saying who it is. They own Stearns. Shut up, Doug. They own Stearns. They own Stearns. And there's a certain way to fix a Stern. The P3, it's a little different, so you have to learn new stuff. And I didn't assume this person.
Well, yeah, it's like if you've been driving a Honda Accord your entire life, then all of a sudden you bought some completely different make, model, and manufacturer of car, and you're like, wait a minute, I know how to work on this one thing. Why? What is this? That's scary. It's new. It's different. Why would I do that? And I understand that. That's probably the right call as far as advice to give, because if they're siloed into what they know and what they want to know, then probably not best to venture out.
So I offered that. Princess Bride has convinced me to get one, but it would take years to save up. Yeah, Cammy, it took me like 5 years to save up for mine. Final Resistance is great. Okay. And Fliptronic is here. Welcome in, Fliptronic. Did I hear P3? Yes, you did. So the one person I said maybe not.
It's George Verstern. Next time on Don't Panic Flip.
God damn it. Now, the other person... The other person is a tinkerer. They own games. They absolutely fell in love with the platform. and they're more than happy to do the things it might take. It might take. I'm not saying it will. It might take to learn how to fix things on a multimorphic. You got to fix things on every pinball machine. I think we can all agree in chat.
Oh, 100%.
There's not a
even virtual.
single, even virtual. There's not a single goddamn pinball machine on the planet that won't break.
It's Borg Dog.
Okay? It's Borg Dog. No, it's not. No, it's not Borg Dog. It's just, if P3 ever does a Superman module, then so. But here's the end of the story, Doug. You ready for this? This person that will remain nameless was at the multimorphic booth many times and is probably going to get one. It couldn't get enough, and is probably going to get a P3 despite my warning.
Well, I mean, I hope it works out for him. Or her.
Or they. We'll say they.
How you doing, man?
Them, yeah.
Them. Now, for me, right, Princess Bride sits right below Labyrinth. When I got my hands on Labyrinth,
as far as like IP or just gameplay.
If I run across the board with, if I say Princess Bride is an 8.5 across the board, IP, gameplay, blah 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 blah, then Labyrinth for me would run across the board as a 9 on everything except for IP, because I'm not a Labyrinth fan. I'm a Princess Bride fan. But I think what they did, and you can, it's almost like you can't help but compare Princess Bride to Labyrinth right now. Inconceivable. You can't help but compare Princess Bride to Labyrinth right now because they're kind of in the same world-ish, right? There is that fantasy kind of.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
both fantasy stories. They both came out around the same time frame. You know, both part of the 80s culture, childhood. Absolutely.
Exactly. But I just think, based on what Multimorphic wants to do now.
If this is your first time owning a pinball machine, then this is the series for you. In
I forgot I left her.
Pinball Basics, we'll cover setting up your game,
Hi, Emoto.
gameplay, care, and maintenance.
Go away. Okay. In terms of what Multimorphic can do right now with their system, because trust me, kids, they can do a lot more. That upper 1/3, there's a whole 2/3 down there they can actually use, but they're not right now. So in terms of what they did with Princess Bride, I think it's amazing. But Labyrinth, if you think about it in the same world, they could go nuts. They could, and they absolutely did. They went amazing on Labyrinth, which is the last thing we're going to chat about, Doug. But I just want to mention to everybody that they can do stuff. Multimorphic can do stuff. They just choose not to right now.
I was impressed with it. Like I said, I walked away with the experience of that was a super fun game to shoot. Theme integration, assets, all that stuff I thought was phenomenal. The little inside jokes for super diehard fans of the movie I thought were well placed. The fact that they even exist showed that Multimorphic really cared about this IP and loved the movie just as much as a lot of the fans do. It wasn't something that was just like, hey, here's some movie clips that you have to wait after you shoot this shot 3 times for, or anything like that. Texas Chainsaw.
Let me see. I wish that BOF had done both. Interesting, Pepper. Yeah. Just like how you have to compare Jaws and Barry. Oh, BBQ, because they are both. About craving red meat in ways. Let's see. Anyone want to invite me to come play Labyrinth? We're getting a Labyrinth at Frigo Watch, which is awesome. Any word if X-Men 97 is Stern's next pin? I don't know, Agent Flashes. You need to ask our lovely people in the chat. I'm jonesing for them.
I've heard that.
So you did hear that?
I mean, that's the going rumor that's Keith's next game, and that'd be kind of a weird call to me. But I mean, Stern has a very nice relationship with Disney and Marvel, but to me, that would have been something that would have been cooking prior. I mean, because Keith's probably not due for another release for over a year.
Yeah.
By the time X-Men 97 will have already been done and in the season 2 hiatus for 9, 10, 12, 14 months, whatever it takes them to get that done again. So like all the hype and the hoopla would have been quelched by then.
Yeah, it would have been pretty much gone. So before we get to this, just once again, Doug gives his full disclosure on all this stuff on this video where we're kind of scrubbing through. Please make sure you subscribe to Cooltoy. Not only this, but amazing content across the board. Video games, retro, furniture. He did a furniture video, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Fucking
I bought
furniture.
a chair. Yeah. Like I said, I'm a
it's
variety guy. I do everything you're not supposed to do on YouTube. You're supposed to find a niche and just beat it like a dead horse. And I'm like, I don't do that. I'm sorry.
I keep my horses alive. What
Right.
is your? So what's your bottom line take on? I guess we're just talking about the platform in general.
On P3?
Yeah.
Or
P3.
TPF?
P3.
Okay. I enjoyed it. We kind of talked briefly at the show. Like, I do wish it was more of a like 60-40 split instead of like the 70-30 it is for
70-30, yeah.
the module. And
Yeah.
But like you also brought up the good point that if it was a larger footprint, that it would be a gargantuan task to install and move for the common man. And I didn't consider that. I'm used to lugging around massive things by myself and just dealing with it. But I was like, you know what? That's not really a good thing that I should have to be dealing with. Like I take it for granted that things should be easier in some aspects. And if I'm in a home environment and I'm constantly changing things, which this platform is designed to be modular and be changed out at the will of the user, then you definitely wanted to make it a little easier for them than.
Yeah. I had a really good conversation with TJ, who's the lead engineer at Multimorphic, and I own one so I could see what they have available, and I said realistically, excuse me. I said, realistically, you guys can do things below 2/3, right? And he goes, yeah, we already did. The cross ramp on Weird Al. There's a cross ramp on Weird Al. Yep, comes across. He's like, that was a little something, but the more we do down there, the more friction there is for you to change your things. So it's not like it can't do it. So that's about it. Yeah, I think we've.
Cascade says, I can't leave until I tell you that I'm buying a P3.
Let's talk about. So the only other thing that we haven't talked about, I finally got to flip this. This is actually over at Daz's booth, which I thought was amazing.
Oh my goodness!
Lord of the Game Room. Is that what it's called? Lord of the Game Room? Yeah.
I think that was the area.
This is the only place I got to play.
So what'd you think of Labyrinth?
It's great.
It really is. Like, especially for a first effort from a company that literally just came out of nowhere a year ago. It's like, wow, you guys did a really good job your first effort. Like, that almost makes you worrisome for that sophomore album follow-up. It's like, what do you do next? Did you explode all your creative juices on your first effort, or I guess time will tell. But I'm a huge Labyrinth nerd. Said I named my kid after David Bowie, for crying out loud. So when this
did you hear that?
Nowhere.
Did everyone hear that? Doug, do you need to say that again, please?
I named my kid after David Bowie.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I'm
that guy.
I never got to play it, and thank you for the follow, Ferret Fawcett. Thank you so much. Welcome in. I never got to play it. I got to play it at Lord of the Game Room's booth, and it's it's giving Jersey Jack a run for their money, I would say. It's as if you had the best Stern and the best Jersey Jack.
In what aspect?
It's like if you had Stern and a Jersey Jack and you make him have a baby, you would get this plus the back display, the back panel display.
The secondary LCD,
yeah, and it feels like a Jim Henson product.
It does.
Feels
you can tell that they interacted with the Henson family. It didn't just get, the sticker of approval. Like, there was truly, some effort made to make this feel like it belonged and came from that world in some way.
And he had the topper on, which is great, because if you stand there for too long, the guys are like, is he going to play the game? I don't know. Maybe he's broken.
Sitting there heckling you, and it's so good. And the topper, like I said, the animated heads that twist and turn, the eyes light up, and they got, real, hair. It's just, again, going back to the topper being $1,000, $2,000 offerings from other companies. You see it in person, you're like,
it's embarrassing.
Wow.
It's almost embarrassing. I love Stern and everything, but it's embarrassing that they have toppers that are twice the cost of this one, and this one just makes you feel like you're being watched by. Okay, so Doug, how about this? We have Barrels of Fun. Their next game, ready for it? The Muppets.
I would be like donating plasma and whatever, juices out of my body I could to afford that, because I already want this labyrinth. Like,
gross.
I'm currently literally like, horrible, but like, I don't know how else to make money other than, make other people rich. That's my day job. But it's like, I'd have to like come up with finances, because like the Muppets, it's like, on a job resume, you list like your skills and attributes and everything, and I'm like, the only life skills I have is that I can name like 100 different Muppets from the Muppet universe. And people are like, that's not really a job skill. And I'm like, I guess I'm not your guy. Sorry, but like the Muppets would be a dream theme for me for sure. Like, clearly, Barrels of Fun has has their connections with the Henson family and the Henson company. I would want nobody other than Barrels of Fun to make that game. So like, I wouldn't want to see Jersey Jack or Stern or anybody else get their hands on a Muppet license IP.
I think
Barrels of Fun, I probably don't make that my next game though, just because then it sounds like you're only the puppet company. You space it out a little more, but other.
Lady
As
Shar
a consumer,
says,
I'd be like, hell yeah, let me
oh,
go.
I'm there. Lady Shar says Fraggle Rock. I agree, Lady Shar, but if you have the Muppets and you can have the two dudes on top, was it Waldorf and Statler or whatever their names? And they can just...
Yep, Statler and Waldorf. Yeah.
Statler and Waldorf, and they can just fuck with you for the entire game. Come on!
The whole game. Yeah. You call that a tilt? Yeah. It's so good.
Come on!
It writes itself, and there's literally like 50 years of Muppet TV shows and movies and all these different things you can incorporate with it. Man,
maybe that's their third game. All right,
it prints money.
It does.
Yeah.
All right, I'm running late, but we're gonna get going. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the Labyrinth. It feels like a premium, well-priced product. Like,
that's right.
I made mention that it feels like you get a Stern LE for a bargain price, but you don't lose any, bells and whistles. Like, it feels like a great game. It shoots like a great game. The assets, the theme integration, the shots, layout. It's got all sorts of great, unique things going for it. Like, it's a home run. It's
probably my best of show. And I'm late to the game because I didn't get to see it at Expo, but it's definitely my best of show. Even though I have no, I don't want to buy it. I want to play somebody else's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. Galaxy Quest would be a good P3 one. That would be great. Hang on a second. Let me just see something real quick. You could milk cats. No American. Ice Skidoo, what's up? Long time no see. Doug, Pirate Bones Ninja just wants your opinion on... Where is it? This, and then we can go.
On Elton John?
Yeah.
So it is the best playing, most fun, enjoyable, best light show by far. Jersey Jack Pinball Machine they made to date, in my opinion. Like
100%.
To me, prior to Elton John's release and existence, I've always thought, hey, Jersey Jack machines, those are super pretty, lots of cool bells and whistles and everything. And then I played them, and I was just like, I didn't really enjoy the play experience. Like, thought the big screen was cool. I thought the lights and the extra build of materials, I could see that on the playfield, but like just general enjoyment of like shots and code, and I just they lost me there. And to me, that's the bigger part of the pinball picture, is just the general enjoyment you get for playing. Like, do you walk away from the table saying I want to play that again, or did you walk away with a smile on your face? And if you didn't, then something's wrong with the game.
Yeah.
But Elton John
is... I was cleaning the playfield on Elton John this morning at Frigo Watch, and it was trashed because it earns... The only thing that beats Elton John in terms of earning at Frigo Watch is, wait for it, this is the only game that beat Elton John, is this.
Oh wow, wouldn't have been my guess, but that's a good one.
And I'll tell you why, and then we'll call it. Pulp. I beat Manu on Pulp Fiction. Yes, that was like 2 years ago. Wow. The reason Pulp Fiction beats Elton John in terms of earnings is because Pulp Fiction is fucking hard.
That was going to be my guess. It's the short play duration, because yeah, it's brutal. Like, even if you're a seasoned pinball player, like, that's a hard game. Like, especially if you come from playing, a traditional modern Stern, and you walk over to that and you try to just play it like you normally would, you're going to get eaten alive.
You are not lasting as long on this as you are.
No, and like that 3-bank target in the front, you're like, oh, I've seen this before. This is Indiana Jones, Mark Ritchie special. Then you realize it's angled, and you get just trounced immediately down the middle when you're like, oh, maybe you shouldn't have been so happy-go-lucky to go after that drop targets there.
So Pulp is trash, especially for the price. Well, I got to disagree. It's a different game, though. You're not going to shoot Elton John and Pulp with the same fever, I think.
Style and yeah.
But what I was saying was, I was cleaning the playfield.
Hopefully better if they could make more.
Yeah, Marty still doesn't have.
Go back to Elton.
Marty still doesn't have his Pulp Fiction. Yeah, I feel so bad. Gosh, Marty, I'm sad that you still don't have it. And when I was done cleaning the flippers and cleaning the playfield, cleaning the posts, and cleaning everything that needs to be cleaned, I fired up. Oh, also remember to clean your balls, guys. If you're cleaning your playfield and you're cleaning the posts and cleaning it, take the balls out, wipe them down. Yeah, you're all going to do something bad with that advice, but
Electronic pinball machines are designed to have a 6.5-degree slope.
It would have been great if it was the clean your balls one, wouldn't it?
Yeah, PSA.
But I fired up, a test game. I fired up test game, and I was like, this is so good. Like, just like, I'm supposed to fire up one ball and maybe test it, and I just stood there and I just played it. Doug, thank you so much once again for being awesome, and it was really.
Thanks for having me on the stream.
It was always. This is like a thing that we always have. Do you have to clean your virtual balls as well? Yes, you do, Al. Yes, you do. You have to clean your virtual balls too.
Empty that cache.
I'm glad we got to hang out at TPF. In fact, you guys, this is hilarious.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you the story real quick and we'll be done. Doug, so of course you and I, we went to the Gomez talk, right? George Gomez did his little speech.
Yeah. The
And,
seminar. Yep.
The seminar. Of course, when we're sitting down, Doug looks at me and goes, make sure you don't fall asleep during
Somebody got to watch out for you.
I thought that was so funny. I'll let you know. And you know what? I won't go into the story now, but if you want to watch me later, I'll be on Thursday. You can come by and ask, what was that all about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is Mano so sleepy? So sleepy.
Doug, give us a real quick. Hey, Game Club Central, can you shout out Doug's channel? And Doug, just give us a real quick thing about your channel for the new people showed up.
Yeah. So for anybody new, I'm Doug Smith. I got a YouTube channel called Cooltoy where I talk about all sorts of things, video game, pop culture related. I make mediocre content on a good day and half-ass content on a great day. If you like mediocrity, check me out.
Oh my God, stop it. Doug's awesome. He's almost at 50K, so tell your friends, man. Tell your friends, tell everybody. That's reserved for OnlyFans. That is true. All right, kids. Thank you so much for joining. I'm always happy to talk about the pinballs that we love and we hate. We don't hate anything. We love all pinball. And we're going to find somebody to raid. So...
Boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants.
We'll see you guys later. Have a good one. See you later. See you later, Doug. Say bye, Doug.
Good night. Bye.
Hey guys, we're gonna go raid Homegrown right now. Throw some love in there for Homegrown. Simpsons animator and all around good guy. So join him and Pepper, his wife, in pinball shenanigans, and I will see you guys on Thursday.